I think I sing it again. She had no truck. Guys like what? I think I sing it again.
Enemies ahead! Let's go!
I'm about to blow up. Shorty dropping low, pick it up. She like a yo-yo when I'm getting so.
Throwing flashback.
Impressive.
Selamat datang di penerbangan PUBG Airline di lintas Farinja. Hari ini pesawat dipimpin oleh area AGX. Bagi Anda yang sedang berjuang untuk berperang, jangan lupa untuk menekan parasut dan turunlah di sport favorit Anda. Pesan singkat dari saya bahwa cinta yang sangat dalam. Saya tahu kamu sedang berjuang. Dari lubuk hati yang paling dalam, kami ucapkan selamat berperang.
Welcome guys, in this video, we will be taking a look at one of the most controversial topic. Many people say that iPads have a lot of unfair advantages against iPhone players, or basically any mobile players, so is it really true? Let's find out. So starting with the first obvious and noticeable difference is the screen size. The iPad has bigger display, which means spotting enemies will be easier, since all the objects will appear bigger on the iPad. But not just that, the iPad will give you some extra viewing angle that you normally won't get it on phones, which also known as iPad view. If you're wondering exactly how much extra view do you get with an iPad, for example this is iPhone 11 view, and now this is the iPad view. So now you can see it yourself on how much extra you can view with an iPad, and by the way, this is iPad Pro 11-inch model. Other iPads may have even more extra view, or lesser view. But however with any iPad you'll obviously get the iPad view, which gives around 40 to 50% extra view. In my opinion I think the bottom view is least useful, but sometimes it can be useful in some situations. I've been playing on iPad for the past 20 days. And the top view is most useful for me. It can help you in a ridge fight situation. iPad extra view will allow you to see your enemy before they see you. And having an extra viewing angle is always a better thing. Sometimes you might get lucky with iPad view. But most importantly in final circles, if you lay down, the extra view will be a huge advantage in this situation to spot other players in the grass. So what do you think? Is this an unfair advantage against mobile players? Let me know in the comments. And in my opinion yes, this is unfair, but actually no, it's just an advantage, because iPad's got a bigger display, and if they don't utilize that extra space on the screen, you get black bars like this, so this is why I call this as an advantage. So is it unfair? Yes, but actually no. But you also have to remember that extra view will require more rendering and more processing power in order to display that iPad view, since iPads are usually more powerful than mobile phones that can do that. Moving on to the next thing, which is hip fire. Many people say that iPad's hip fire is crazy accurate, and that is true. As I said before, I started using iPad since last 20 days and I can feel that hip fire is so powerful in iPad. Normally if the enemy is at 30 meters or above I'd open the scope and fire, but with iPad I don't really need to open scope and fire, because hip firing is so reliable and powerful, and this is a huge advantage in close combat fights. Here is an example, the enemy is around 30 meters away or more, and you can clearly see how accurately I was able to knock with hip fire at this distance. Normally in mobile phones, you wouldn't be able to do this with hip fire. So yeah, iPads have another unfair advantage in close range with this crazy accurate hip fire. Moving on to the recoil controlling, most people would say that iPads have less recoil, and you can spray easily at long distance. So is this really true? Let's find that out. So I tested the iPad's recoil and iPhone's recoil pattern, and adjusted their sizes according to the aspect ratio, and compared them side by side, and they look identical, or very similar, but you might be thinking why iPad's recoil goes left and right more often. Well, the recoil patterns or spray patterns are totally random. Sometimes you get unlucky, and the recoil goes either left or right.
Enemy down!
It also happens on iPhone or any device, not just on iPad. So I did another test, but this time I compared the gap between each and every bullet, or the distance between each bullet, and compare it against the other one, and I did this few times.
Enemy down! down!
Sometimes iPhone gets lower value, sometimes iPad gets lower value, but they are very close, so I think the recoil is very identical, or basically the same random
Enemy
pattern.
down!
So why do people say it's easier to control recoil on iPad? Well, it's actually easier to control recoil on iPad because, on mobile phones, you get a smaller screen, which means you have less space for your fingers to move around, whereas on iPad you get so much space to work around, because it has a bigger display. Bigger display means you can drag down your finger easily without any problem, and that's why it looks and feels like iPad has less recoil, but in reality all the devices will most likely to have the same recoil system. But on mobile phones you don't get that bigger area to control recoil as you would on iPad. So this is the reason why most people say iPad has less recoil. Moving on to the next one, which is aim assist. So here is the aim assist side-by-side comparison between iPad versus iPhone. Anyway, the iPad was able to hit the enemy first, while the crosshair aim is at same level as the iPhone. So this means iPad has better aim assist? I mean yes, but I can't be 100% sure that iPad has better aim assist. However, the reason why the iPad's hipfire is accurate is maybe because of the better aim assist. So what do you think? Does iPad really have better aim assist? So in the final conclusion, iPad has a lot of advantages against mobile players, most of them are unfair. But if you're thinking of buying an iPad to play professionally in tournaments, then let me tell you that iPads are not allowed on official PUBG mobile tournaments because of those iPad advantages, which would be really unfair for other players without an iPad. But however, if you want to play this game just for fun, or rank pushing, then maybe playing on an iPad would be okay. But most people would say it's unfair, and I totally agree with that. But iPad players cannot get a separate lobby like emulator players, because there are only 1 to 2% of iPad players, and if they get separate lobby, it would be filled with just bots, since there are not many players. So iPad players will most likely play in mobile player lobby. But however, if PUBG could remove some unfair advantage like that hip fire accuracy and better aim assist, then maybe it would be okay, I guess. So what do you think? And also you can get iPad for really low price, while giving you same or better performance as an iPhone XS Max. You would get stable 60 FPS without any frame drops. There are also other models with different price ranges. So playing on iPad will give you a better gaming experience than mobile phones, and there will be always one guy with an iPad in your friend list, who would most likely steal all your kills because of the iPad unfair advantages, and it gives overall a better gaming experience with stable 60 FPS. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. I hope you learned something new. If you did, hit the like button, and subscribe for more upcoming videos like these. Enjoy my bot gameplay. See you guys in the next one.
Welcome to the team, oh, oh, yeah. I deal in bulk like I'm Costco, yeah. I got this shit on lock, though, yeah. Invest my money in my stock, oh, yeah. So I'm growing around the clock.